Morning, this Japa. So when we start chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, uh, so today, of course, chanting is such a wonderful, and it is the practices that Srila Prabhupada has recommended for all of us. That this is the only thing that can actually take us beyond these three modes of material nature. So, however, as Prabhu was saying that though I might be there for a long term, but it is a challenge. So, what I'm going to today describe here or discuss with all of you is what I have been hearing from devotees in a disciplic succession. So, it is always a good to what we have heard and repeat it. So, when we begin chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, it is a very challenging when we when we start sitting, as soon as we take a bead bag, immediately our mind will start moving to the places which we have not even thought of, heard of. And of course there might be some things going in a current context that will also be there. So mind is like a horror movie which will show some kind of things which we have not even seen, are very scary. And top of that, we do not have potential to sit and meditate for a longer time. People like me, it's very difficult to sit and things. And of course we do not have discipline now to study. Everything is so disturbing within our attention focus, its attention span is coming down. And to focus and to study at one point is very difficult. And what to talk about then, renunciation. We do not have so much of capacity to renounce. Of course, we understand that everything comes from Lord Sri Krishna. So what is that we have to renounce? The renunciation of desire to have the fruits of the activity. This is the most challenging thing for all of us. And top of that, we do not have a strength to take a strong oath. So there are so many challenges that when we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and when we begin our journey, we were told that you just chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra and nothing. You don't have to do anything. You just start chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Don't change anything. Just add Krishna to your life. Just chant and be happy. Then we see that as we progress in the Krishna consciousness, middle of our spiritual progress, then we see that, oh, there is something more than what we had heard in the beginning. That then we start attending workshop, we start attending retreats on chanting. And but initially we might be thinking, oh, it was so easy, it must be very easy. But we know that, and that is where the devotees put so much of effort, endeavor, that how we can improve our chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And then of course the journey does not stop when devotees get better and better and perfect. Still, then they wanted to go to seclusion, and either with one or individual or with other devotees, and then to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So we can understand that there are challenges, but that is the way only that to move forward. So before we actually come to some practical steps which I heard, but let us hear some glories of the holy name. So what this holy name can actually do that. So in very famous pastimes, in Ajamila's pastimes, when Ajamila was actually being caught by Yamadutas, and Vishnu Dutas come there, and then in that particularly second chapter, one shloka is there which Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur quotes. It's a very beautiful shloka. You must have heard this earlier. नाम्नो हि आवति शक्ति पाप निरहरणे हरे तावत् कर्तुं न शक्नोति पातकं पातकी नरः. Simply by chanting the holy name of a Hari, a sinful man can counteract the reactions of more sins than he can actually able to commit. It comes Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur commits that Brad Vishnu Purana. So we can understand that the potential of the holy name is so much that even a sinful man can counteract the reactions to more sins than he's able to commit. So but please don't try that. That, oh, okay, we were told that Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur quoting from the Brihad Vishnu Purana and saying that we can counteract all things which we have not even committed, and then let's not do that. So one is able to free from all the sins that one is able to commit. So but what is important here is that somehow, but for us it is very difficult to sit at one place and chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. And but to before that, let me as we are approaching now Gaur Purnima and some more glories of the holy name. And it is so beautiful that as I'm reading in Ante Leela, chapter, the Ante Leela, the last chapter of Chaitanya Charitamrita, is so beautiful. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that, and it's before the Sikshastakama verse, which will be described later. So the shloka number uh, 8, and it says that हर से प्रभु कहे ना सुन स्वरूप राम राय नाम संकीर्तन कलाऊ परम उपाय. It says that हर से नाम हर से प्रभु कहे ना. So Prabhu, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in very great jubilation, he's actually telling to Swarup Damodhar and Ramananda Rai that Nama Sankirtana Kalau Parama Upay. In this age of Kali, there is only one way, or Param Upay, or the supreme Upay, the supreme means to counteract the effect of the Kali Yuga. What is that? Nama Sankirtana. So probably these shlokas might be hearing first time, but it's very similar. We would have heard in a different context, different format. But Harer Nama, Harer Nama, Harer Nama Eva Kevalam. Same way, here it is saying that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saying that Nama Sankirtana Kalau Parama Upay. There is no other upay than the chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra to counteract the effect of the Kali Yuga. Then he continues. He says, Sankirtana yadne kalau Krishna aradhana seita sumedha paye Krishna charana. So what happened when we start chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra? And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continues and he says that Sankirtana yadne kalau Krishna aradhana. In this age of Kali, the process of Krishna aradhana, process of worshipping Lord Sri Krishna, is to Sankirtana Yajna, performing the sacrifice of chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And if one does, such a person is very intelligent, Sumedha, Seita Sumedha, and then what will happen? Paye Krishnera Charana, he will attain the lotus feet of our dear Supreme Lord, most merciful Lord Sri Krishna. And we all are actually, our goal is to attain the lotus feet of Lord Sri Krishna, to attain the Krishna Prema. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is reiterating again towards the end of Chaitanya Charitamrita. Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami is saying that, what is that? Sankirtana Yadneha Kalau Krishna Aradhana Seita Sumedha Paya Krishna Charana. So if one want to attain the Charan, the lotus feet of our Lord Sri Krishna, what is the way? It is only the Sankirtana Yadna. He continues that, and I think this is the last shloka that we'll be reading from Chaitanya Charitam. Nama Sankirtana Haite Sarva Anartha Nasham Sarva Shubha Udaya Krishna Premera Ullasam. So here Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling that there are three things that would happen when one starts chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So what is that? Nama Sankirtana Haite. First thing, Sarva Anartha Nasha, all the anartha, artha means which has some value, anartha means which has absolutely no value. So all these sarva anartha nash, all these anarthas will be actually destroyed from our heart. And then the second thing, so now it is simultaneously happening. So all the anarthas are actually diminishing, then something positive also should come. And what is that positive things? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that sarva shubha udaya, all the auspicious things will actually get rise in our heart. And the third thing, which is the Krishna Prema, Krishna Premera Ullasa, and the flow, the waves of love for Krishna will actually start manifesting in our heart. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that Hare Krishna Mahamantra is the Param Upaya. By chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, one can attain the lotus feet of Lord Sri Krishna. And the shloka number 11, he says the three things will happen simultaneously or by progressive ways, that anarthas will go, all the auspicious things will rise in our heart, and most important that Krishnera Premera Ulhas, our heart will actually get manifested with the Krishna Prema. And that is our purpose, that is our goal. In fact, Srila Prabhupada, when he was on the Jaladuta, he actually composed a beautiful poem called as Markine Bhagavad Dharma. Markine Bhagavad Dharma means sharing this Bhagavad Dharma throughout the people. And he says, very beautiful, that last shloka of that poem, he says that bhakti nahi bed nahi name khub dharo bhakti vedanta name eb sartaka karo. So here it is saying that Srila Prabhupada is saying that bhakti nahi beda. I do not have any devotion. Name bhakti nahi beda nahi. So I do not have any knowledge. Bhakti nahi beda nahi. Name khubo dharo. But he says, I have very, very strong faith in the holy name of Krishna. And I have been designated as Bhakti Vedanta. Now, if you like, you can fulfill the real purport of this Bhakti Vedanta. You can see. So, what Prabhupada is saying that? Prabhupada is saying that I do not I bhakti nahi. I do not have any devotion, but we can see this is Prabhupada's humility, and he's actually telling for all of us. It's for all of us. We do not have any bhakti, but Prabhupada is actually Bhakti Vedanta when he was actually designated as a Bhakti Vedanta. He's and he says that nahi beda nahi. I do not have any knowledge, but we know that Prabhupada is actually Bhakti Vedanta. He understood, he knows, he assimilated, and he's actually propagating Bhakti Vedanta, the essence of all the Bhakti, which is the chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So Prabhupada is telling that Bhakti nahi beda nahi name khub dharo. But only thing that I have is the strong faith in the holy name of Lord Sri Krishna. For all of us, when we get up in the morning, and then we may think or we may look into the mirror, oh, actually Srila Prabhupada is telling for all of us, I have absolutely no devotion. I'm doing so many services from morning to evening, and for many, many years now. I have been now earlier, I was just a devotee. Now people started calling me as a Prabhu, and then now I'm becoming senior. So, but I may think that I have so many things, but I may not have a devotion. And we also see in mirror and morning when we get up, see, I have absolutely no knowledge. After hearing so many times on body and soul, I am still attached. I may have some theoretical knowledge, but GAN I may have, but there is no absolutely realization on that practical. As simple as that Lord Sri Krishna said, Dehinosmin yata dehe kaumaram yauvanam zara tatha dehantara prapti dhiras tatra namad. As very simple, as the very basic and primary things Lord Sri Krishna told to Arjun at the beginning of Bhagavad Gita, that the foundation of Bhagavad Gita is that the spiritual understanding that I am not this body but the spiritual. How many times I have heard and how many times I read this, but I still have no knowledge. But Prabhupada is actually giving hope for all of us, and that hope for all of us, that I may not have bhakti, I may not have a knowledge, but what I have or I should have is the hope or the faith in the holy name of Lord Sri Krishna. And that faith in the holy name of Lord Sri Krishna can actually take all of us beyond this three modes of material nature, beyond this ocean of this Bhausagar. So, from the holy name, all other weaknesses, all other shortcomings, all other missing aspect in of our devotional service will actually get and the weakness, shortcomings will get overcome, and whatever this missing aspect which are favorable to our devotional service will actually manifest just by chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Srila Prabhupada told so many times all our practices, the basic is that chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and everything will actually will manifest that missing things, the weakness, the shortcomings by chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna Mahamantra is so powerful, so potent that it just need one chant, one mantra of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and actually which can take all of us to go back to Godhead. But to reach to that one chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra with the full love and devotion, so we have to do all these sadhana practices. So some so what we have to do, that we have to develop this taste for the holy name of Lord Sri Krishna. And how can we develop the taste for the holy name? So what I have heard from our devotees, so there are three things which you might have heard, but just there is no harm in reiterating. For any relationship that if we have to develop, the first thing that we need to have in that relationship is a commitment. We have eternal relationship with Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. Mamai amsi jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatana, 15.7. So we have eternal relationship with Lord Sri Krishna. Jivere swarupa hai Krishnera nitya das, that we are eternal servant of Krishna, but somehow we have forgotten that relationship. So Srila Prabhupada would always write in the purport and say that we have to reawaken our relationship with Lord Sri Krishna. And to awaken our relationship with Lord Sri Krishna, we need to have a commitment. The first thing that we need to have is that commitment. And how do we show that we are committed this holy name? We have to give time and energy. I may have faith in so many other things, on in arrangements, on my plan, on my competency, on my skills. But what we need to really show to Krishna, that I have a commitment, I have faith, I am giving my time for chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So every day we spare time for chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, not towards the end of the day. But very first thing that we do in the morning is chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, because that is how we are investing time. We are investing time and energy in the chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So when we invest time and energy, then we can see that the relationship becomes stronger and stronger and stronger. So you see that any relationship in between devotees and devotees, between anything, we can see that the more we actually spend quality time into that, the more we actually become stronger in a bond, in a relationship with the devotees. So then we can actually begin to experience Krishna with the holy name. Commitment. The second thing is, now, okay, we have a commitment. The next thing that what we need to do is that quality. How much actually we are present in chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. We all know that it is so challenging to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, but our situation like that, we are physically here, but we are mentally somewhere. And we know that if we watch some videos or something where we can see that they're out of sync. That means the audio and videos are not synchronized properly. How it would be to watch such a particular movie? It would be very annoying. Imagine that when we are chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we are chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, but our mind is actually somewhere else. And imagine how much, just like when we are watching such a movie or video where audio and videos are not synchronized, how much annoying that for all of us. We can also imagine how much annoying it would be for our dear Lord Sri Krishna when we are calling his name and Krishna is coming. Srila Prabhupada says that he's dancing on our tongue, but at the same time, we are not giving attention to him. Just like when some guest come to our house and he's actually sitting there and we are doing so many other things. How does actually, or how will he feel? That he will feel ignored. So similarly, exactly the same thing that we are doing when we are chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we are absolutely not present. Either we are in the past or we are in the future. And that is where you could see that there are a lot many people are actually focusing nowadays on that being present, the power of being now. And you can see that when his grace Bhujan Prabhu, by the mercy of our Sri Gaur Prabhu, Bhujan Prabhu, coming to Bangalore and giving a seminar, he says that focus on the mantra that we are chanting, one mantra at a time. Because what happened if you focus that, oh, I have to chant so many rounds, 108 into multiply by 16, 1728 times we have to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So instead of focusing on that, focus on the mantra. So what happens while doing that? We are actually not focusing the mantra which we are presently chanting. So quality. So along with the commitment, the second thing is the quality. So we have to focus the mantra that we are presently chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Or we may even lament that, oh, the previous mantra I'm not able to chant, or I have to chant so many rounds. So for that we have to present. So that's why Bhurijan Prabhu very nicely says that just focus on one mantra at a time. He gives many keys, and one of the keys is that one mantra at a time. Chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Focus at a time, one mantra, and see that. And he says that if you are able to focus at one time, for even one mantra, he says that you are so fortunate. So, giving our quality, giving our presence to the holy name by being attentive. This is the second step or tip that I have heard. And the third thing is that we may have the commitment, we may have the quality by being present, but if we are not giving our heart, then we are just chanting mechanically with no love, with no devotion, no genuine call to see Krishna, no desperation. You see that if there is some emergency and if we need a help, we call so urgently, so desperate mode to call for that. So similarly, Prabhupada says that our chanting should be just like a child calling a mother. It is so much of desperation with love and devotion that we have to call Krishna. And in fact, Prabhupada writes in one of the purport that in the as we are discussing and studying Bhakti Vedanta, where he says that we have to learn to cry for Krishna. Madhvacharya says that we cry for so many material things, and he says that if we collect all the tears that we have for the material life, and that can actually accumulate up to fill the ocean, so much of tears for material things, but we absolutely have no tears for our dear Lord Sri Krishna. I left you, Krishna. I have absolutely no relationship with Krishna. We have to cry. Anyway, when we cry, our heart, our expressions for the emotions or bottom of our heart, that actually we are doing that. In the material world, we are actually have to have express our emotion. We have to express emotion for to someone else. But the question is that to whom we are expressing our emotion and for what we are actually expressing the emotion. The choice is with us. We have to, because in material life, Lord Sri Krishna says, our dear Lord Sri Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, it is a dukkhalaya mahashasvatam. It will actually make us cry. We may not cry like a child, but we'll actually cry within. So instead of crying for these material things, the choice that we can cry for Krishna, we can express our emotions for Krishna. So we may say, we may cry for material things, that something that which we are craving for, something and which we did not get. It may be the name, fame, job, promotion, money, whatever it is, that we may cry internally, but we have to learn to cry for Krishna. Oh my dear Krishna, I was with you, but somehow or other, an unfortunate situation, I gave up my relationship with you. Now I can see that I have no other option than to re-establish my relationship with you, and which is the only perfection of my life. And when we start expressing our emotion to Lord Sri Krishna, so with the commitment, with having the quality and being present, and by adding the taste of the emotions, by adding the taste of the feeling to that, actually we can begin to develop our relationship with Lord Sri Krishna by chanting with commitment, chanting with the feeling, chanting with the quality being present. And when we direct our emotion to Sri Krishna in this way, then we will be actually developing very strong, closer, and very wonderful relationship with Lord Sri Krishna. And when we start developing relationship with Krishna in the form of His holy name, then we can actually start testing the potency of the holy name. Holy name is very powerful. We saw that it can actually eradicate all the sins. We saw Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said it can remove all the anarthas. It can bring all the auspiciousness in our life. But what is important for all of us is to have chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra with the love and emotion, to just like the child is actually calling to his mother. So for all of us, we are nothing but Aham Bija Pradapita. Krishna says that in Bhagavad Gita, that he's nothing but he's a supreme father for all of us. So and that's also mother. He's a mother, father, everything. Dhata, Mata, Pitamaha. So he's a mother, he's a Dhata, he's a Pitamaham, he's a grandsire for all of us. He's the source of everything. And for to that supreme Lord, who is most merciful, that, and we understand that Avinnatva Nama Nama Namina, Krishna and Krishna's holy name is actually absolutely, there is no difference. Whatever Lord Krishna can do, the same potency can be manifested by holy name. And so when we start chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra with love, feeling, and emotion, and we can see that how our dear Lord, "Ye yatha mam prapaddati tam tathaiva bhajam," he will actually start reciprocating so wonderfully. And then we can see that yesterday when we are discussing, devotees was asking, when will that day come when we start chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra and the tears will start flowing from our eyes. And we are actually looking for that kind of things when we want to chant with love, feeling, and emotion. And that is our perfection of our life. And when we have such kind of chanting, that will actually feel so satisfied. "Ye atma suprasiddhati savai punsa paro dharma yathar bhakti adoksaje ahituki apratihata ye atma suprasiddhati," which will actually give that satisfaction which we are longing for so many years and so many lifetimes in this and in the previous lifetimes. So with that, I pause here and pray for that all the devotees here, and including that we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, which is the ultimate purpose of our life and the sublime method in this age of Kali to get beyond these three modes of material nature and get liberated from the cycle of birth and death and engage in the devotional service of Lord Sri Krishna eternally. Janmani Janmani se bhavtat bhakti ahitu ke tvai. So that Janman after Janma, that devotional service of chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra is the only means for all of us to counteract the effect of Kali Yuga. So I pray for all of you that all of you may develop such a taste, and that we chant the holy name of Lord Krishna from bottom of our heart. So I'll pause here, Prabhu, if any comments, question, or any corrections. And of course, I request all of you to pray for me that I will develop such a love for Krishna's and Krishna's holy name that while chanting, when will that day come when we start chanting and the tears will start flowing from our eyes? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for giving us these important things, highlighting the importance, the depth, and what should be the quality, the practical aspects also, which is so helpful.
Thank you.
Actually, again and again, being reminded of these things helps us, because with this Kali Yuga memory, we tend to forget. And devotees like you who have been practicing so sincerely, if something comes from their mouth, it touches the heart. So we are very grateful to you, Prabhuji. I'd
Thank you
like
very
to
much.
open the floor for any questions or comments.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Shanmu Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Dandat Pranam.
Dandat Pranam. Bagunnara?
Varnaman. Sorry.
Yes, Prabhu, please tell me.
Prabhuji, I keep hearing this Chaitanya Siddhastakam verse. I didn't remember. Nayanam Galadasrudharaya, that verse.
Vaddanam
And
Gadgadam.
I get this philosophical thought, really, when we can really get that, see, we understand that all our malinyas, all the dust, material dust, everything has to be removed, and we have to first realize that we are the soul, and we also have to get that understanding and also the realization that we have connection with Krishna. And until then, how we will be getting that mood of tears, getting tears out of our chanting? Can you explain me little philosophically, like what and all needs to happen by the time we reach there? So I'm thinking it is impossible at this point of time where I'm situated, so that getting that natural tears when sometimes it comes when we are in some trouble and all, when we pray, we get tears. But that natural tears when we just even chant the holy name, what should and all happen by the time we reach to that particular state, Prabhuji?
Thank you, Prabhu. Of course, this is a stage far from realized for personally for me as well. But at this point of time, all or at least personally, I can just what we have heard and what we have read. Based on that, we can discuss these things. So just like when we said that in material things we actually get tears because we have so much of attachment for material things. So to if we have to get such kind of tears, that we need to have Krishna or the place for our dear Lord Krishna in our heart, love for Krishna. And is there any other means? If you see, Prabhupada has given that it's not that we have to get something else or do something else to attain these things. No, there is no other, because our means the way through which actually will go, or the mechanical the ways that we actually approach is on the holy name, and our goal is also the holy name. So our means and the goal is actually the same. So today, if you see that so many years of conditioning in this life, and so many lifetimes of conditioning that we have, naturally we have attachment. What was so unnatural when in your pure form of state, to attachment to the material life became an unnatural for all of us, that today naturally we are so much of attracted to material things, sense enjoyment. And as long as that this desire to enjoy is there independent of Krishna, and that time these things will be very difficult to follow. Srila Prabhupada was asked, Swamiji, how much time it will take to and this is nothing but that we are actually free from all this conditioning. And Swamiji, Srila Prabhupada said that it would actually take a moment. In Bhagavatam, ninth canto, Khatwang Maharaj was actually got the liberation in a moment when he was told that you have only one moment left in your life. And immediately, actually, he felt that liberation. However, Prabhupada said that the people like all of us conditioning, he said that we have to, within that one moment, we have to do two things. And the two things are that first we have to get attached to our dear Lord, and we have to get detached from that matter, material things. And these things, attachment to Lord Sri Krishna and detachment from matter, will not happen instantaneously. It will take a time, and that is why it is a cultivation. अन्य अभिलाषित शून्य ज्ञान कर्मादि अनावृत अनुकूलेन कृष्णानुशीलम bhakti uttama. So this is a cultivation. So the more actually we sincerely and attentively actually pray to Krishna, chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and the more actually yatha mam prapadate tam tathaiva bhajanam, the degree that actually Krishna can actually reciprocate, the degree that we are actually surrendering ourselves, giving the first priority to Krishna, attachment to Krishna in our heart, place to Krishna in our heart, that degree that Krishna will actually reciprocate. In Bhagavad Gita 7.28, it is said that they, as long as that we have this sinful activities, and we are not doing the activities which are, let me see, just Bhagavad Gita 7.
तेषां त्वन्तगतं पापं
तेषामेव
त्वन्तगतं पापं जनानां पुण्यकर्मणां
जनानां पुण्यकर्म ते द्वन्द्वमोह निर्मुक्तं भजन्ते माम दृढव्रता एषा तो अंतगतं पापम जनानां पुण्यकर्माणां ते द्वन्द्वमोह निर्मुक्तं भजन्ते माम दृढव्रता. So Lord Sri Krishna tells to Arjuna in this particular shloka that as long as we have this sinful tendency and we are acting in a sinful ways. Now, what does it mean to be act in a sinful way? Independent of Krishna, anything which actually takes us away from Krishna, at that until that point of all the sinful actions are completely eradicated, and then we are free from all this dvandva. I like, I don't like, I all those things. So that when we are freed from that dualities of the delusion, until that we will not be able to engage in Lord Krishna's service in a drudha vrata, in a determination. So these are the things that, so then how do you get free from all these sinful tendencies, sinful inclination, sinful attachment? And there is only one way, Shanmukh Prabhu, and that way is chanting of Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So the more we actually chant attentively with love and feeling, you can see that Cheto Dharpanam Marjanam. Now, how much time will it take? It depends upon that how we are chanting, what is our disposition towards the relationship sambandha gyan, and how we are actually acting in that sambandha, and that actually will help us to come to that things. And it is very different for individual to individual basis, because we know that Niha Vikrama Nashasta Pratyavayana Vidyati Swalpam Apishas, so that whatever that we have done in the previous life, the bhakti, we actually begin. So everybody is very individual, and everybody's journey, the spiritual trajectory for all of us is actually very different and individual, very individual to us, because our relationship with Krishna is very individual, and Krishna reciprocate very individually to all of us. Hope that help. Though it for all of us, or personally for me, this is all what we have heard. It's the gyan that we have heard, but realization by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada in a disciplic succession. Srila Prabhupada said that follow the four regulative principle and chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Definitely, that hope we must have. We heard that Srila Prabhupada said that we may not have devotion, we may not have knowledge, but we must have a faith in the holy name. That holy name is the only shelter for all of us. Param Upaya in Kalau, in this age of Kali, the Param Upaya, the supreme means to eradicate or counteract in this age of Kali is only Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Thank you, Prabhu. Hope that helps you. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you.
Ati
Thank you.
Sundar,
Yeah, Ati Sundari Mataji, yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandat
Hare
Pranam.
Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, thank you so much for your wonderful session and your prayers for all of us. Thank you so much. And my question is, Prabhu, those new members who have not started 16th round, for them, quality is important or quantity is important?
So, for all of us, instruction, guidance, direction from our founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada is that chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra 16 rounds. So we need to go hand in hand together. Quality will help to quantity, and quantity will help to reach to the quality. So Prabhupada had said that multiple times. So minimum that even for the beginners, that one has to reach to the stage of that minimum, because how do we say that we are surrendering to our founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada? We know that from the ISKCON disciple course that Srila Prabhupada is our eminent Siksha Guru for all of us. So now what does it mean to be Siksha Guru? That Siksha Guru means that we follow the instruction given by him. And one of the instruction that Srila Prabhupada, you see Prabhupada any purport, maybe the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna is talking about Dhyana Yoga, and Srila Prabhupada is talking about Bhakti Yoga, chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So the minimum basic thing that Srila Prabhupada said, that come to the level of chanting of minimum 16 round of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So, and that is where you see that the Siksha program that which actually help us encourage devotees to step by step come to the level where one can start chanting the 16 rounds. It may not happen in a overnight, but over a span of time, sometime, and one should definitely come to that, because that is how we can show our love, our for following the instruction of Srila Prabhupada, because surrender means follow the instruction, and this is the way that we can do by coming to the stage of 16 round of Hare Krishna Mahamantra.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thank you, Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Shakti Prasad.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for giving that example about audio video. Actually, it's more relatable, because in past that I have also have encountered the same issue. So same way, if you are not focused and we are chanting mechanically, so then Krishna won't be happy that. Means we can understand, but still when we say that focus in one mantra, that we do, but even after in one mantra, mind goes elsewhere. So then what do we then again we try to bring, so in that way, how that statement will fulfill, like if I'll focus, I'm trying to actually, even I was also reading that book Japa, that also I means understood that thing, but I'm not able to utilize it properly. Focus in one mantra I'm doing, but if it is somehow in the morning, then it is good. But if it is second half, then I mean disturbance in my mind is more than in morning. But still, mind goes somewhere else. So thank you. If you want to explain.
So there is no magic formula that If we do that, we will have we will able to. But if we see that in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says that yato yato nichalati manaha chanchalam astiram. So wherever the mind goes, now we have to bring back that mind to the holy name. Is it a simple? No, it's a challenge. So that is the practice, that sadhana we are doing. And what is important here for all of us here is that to just to yesterday we were having Bhakti Vaibhav last week, and the devotee coming from the Noida, His Grace Atul Krishna Prabhu, I think his name. So he was mentioning a beautiful point that what Krishna is he sees that our sincere struggle in the chanting of, when we are actually putting, now what do you mean by sincere struggle? When with our fullest capacity, when I'm trying to chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, Krishna sees that intention, Krishna sees that attitude, because attitude in Nectar of Instruction it is said that the attitude is the foundation for the attitude actually matters. So here our intention is that Krishna, I want to please it, and whatever it takes to do that, let me put my endeavor. It's not that being very calmly and being very lazy, lethargic, and all things. No, we have to be very enthusiastic. We have to be, and when I say we, including myself, I'm talking about that. So, and we have to show that Krishna that I'm really serious for this holy name, and that is the only means for me to actually to cross this ocean of Bhausagar and come to get that Krishna Prema. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give, which is very rare, very rarest of the thing that Krishna, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and to whom he is giving, the people like all of us, where is Patita. So I mean, you can see the mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we have mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We have our founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada and Guru Parampara along with us. So all we have to do is to put our sincere endeavor from our side, and then rest the results, it's up to Krishna's hand. So it is not that we if we are not able to do, we are actually failure, nothing like that. Even a sincere, like just like a squirrel putting whatever in her capacity, Prabhu Ramchandra ji is so happy. We may not be able to put big bulldozers, big that stones and all things, but even if a small even if one grain of that sand, if you are able to put in the mission of our dear Lord Prabhu Ramchandra ji, we can actually, Lord can Lord can notice that. So what we have to do that, but within our capacity, whatever is that we have to do, we cannot be less than 100%. So that we have to put our endeavor with the fullest capacity. There is a struggle, definitely there is a struggle, there is absolutely no doubt, but that struggle is much better than coming back and going this 84 lakh of species. Who knows what would happen if we don't get into that struggle now, and then we get into the somewhere we may not even have opportunity to chant Hare Krishna Maha. We may be born some places where absolutely there is no possibility, feasibility of chanting of name of Lord. So instead of going through that unknown struggle, which is much serious, much grave than the struggle that we are going, which is actually even eventually it will lead to that place where we are developing our very sweet relationship with our dear Lord Sri Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, there is one thing. Like when you say, when we also understand that our intention in matters, then we bring that 10 offense things. So that time we are worried about that offense part. So that time we will prioritize our intention or the an offense part.
It intention is it's a more within, and offenses that we actually do, that we have to also avoid. So because without that and the root cause of all the offense is inattentive chanting of Hare Krishna. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says the root cause of all these other offenses is inattentive chanting. And when we try to put our intention very clear that Krishna, I want to please you, and my intention is to chant very attentively, so that at least we are beginning on a very auspicious and positive note. And that intention, so you see that wherever our attention or intention, actually the energy will flow that our attention, our intention is towards the job and all things, and you see that automatically the energy will flow. Similarly, if our attention, our energy is towards Lord Sri Krishna, we can see that the energy actually flowing in that direction.
Okay, Prabhu.
So
Thank you.
intention will pave a way for inoffensive chanting.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. So we have some many nice comments here. I'll read them out. Sudha Mataji is actually also asking a question, which probably was already answered. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Wonderful session on Japa Talk, Prabhu. Thank you very much. How can we distinguish between emotional tears and real bhakti bhav?
That we will actually, we can see that when we have artificially developing that, and if we our heart has no love for, we can definitely see within. uh, we will able to see, forget about the tears, we ourselves are able to identify whether our chanting is genuine, whether we are able to chant attentively and focus. So definitely within we will know. And when we are doing artificially, we know it will not last for long, and it will not give the real satisfaction. When we are doing something called, sometimes we will say that, oh, I saw Krishna and then I had a tears of, we can see that sometimes it could be an emotional. The real things will come from our heart genuinely.
Right. So there is one more raise hand. Pinti Kumari, you want to ask something? Or is it by mistake? Yeah. So then Sadhu Sevan Prabhu has put a comment. Thanks a lot, Prabhuji. My takeaways is the word now. It is focus on the current Mahamantra. Your servant. Nagaraj
Thank you.
Prabhu. Thanks, Prabhuji. Many diamonds you have offered, but I could not grab at time. But I noted down the tips which you gave to shift our material cry for Krishna Prem. Excellent points you shared to improve myself. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
And then Shobha Mataji, thanks, Prabhuji, for your informative session. Prashad Prabhu, written Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. The process of developing relationship with Lord Krishna by our commitment, quality, and giving our heart by purity, love, feeling, by chanting holy name, just like a child calls a mother, really helpful to me. So yeah, Navendu Prabhu has also Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam. Thanks for sharing sublime tips. Etam Bidnar Prabhu, thanks a lot. It was so nectarian Japa talk. So you can see from the comments that devotees were touched, and I'm sure this talk is going to help them improve the chanting and the overall commitment. Thank you very much, Yugala Kisora prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Thanks
Hare.
all of you. Thank you.
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Is
Srila
there
Prabhupada
Superficial
ki
Prabhuji?
jai.
Hare Krishna Dandavat Pranam.
Hare
Thank
Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam.
Thank you.
प्रभुजी धन्यवाद प्रणाम
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी दंडवत प्रणाम
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी दंडवत प्रणाम
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी दंडवत प्रणाम प्रभु जी
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु दंडवत प्रणाम हरे कृष्णा